Hello everyone and Assalamualaikum. Today I'm gonna present our final report for BITS 3363 Network Security Project Management subject. Our group name is Group KeepAlive, consists of 6 members which is Muhammad Izham, Ahmad Shah Herizam, Muhammad Imran, Muhammad Firdaus Hafizi, Effendi Elias, and my name is Muhammad Rifki. Our company name is Acap Solutions Sendirian Berhad. ACAP stands for Advanced Cybersecurity and Programming. We specializing in providing advanced security to an organization network environment and developing reliable systems. Our CEO name is Tan Sri Effendi Imran. This is our organizational chart. The HR management leader is Muhammad Izham bin Nur Hamadi. Our procurement management leader is Muhammad Imran bin Rosli. The risk analysis management is led by Muhammad Rifki bin Ramlan, myself. The quality management leader is Muhammad Firdaus Hafizi bin Sabri. Our cost management leader is Effendi Elias bin Azhari Sharidan. The process and people management is led by Ahmad Shah Herizam bin Tahir. And lastly, our communication management is led by Sulaiman Bakar bin Rosdi. This is our funding companies, which consists of the company named Konica Minolta. Our client name is Proton Holdings Berhad, and our business partner is Intel Corporation.
My name is Muhammad Ben Brosli, and I want to continue from my part. Actually, my part is the objective, purpose, and TPS map. The objective from installing email server for Proto Holding Berhad is developing secure network infrastructure and provide advanced security in protecting data from both outside and inside attack. We know the network security is important, especially for the business world. uh, the network security actually help reduce the risk of data loss and secure the exploit data from the attacker. Second, deliver top security management to our client. We know the client data is very sensitive, and we must keeping the data secure and responsibility of the organization. Uh, Third, keep our client worry free about the safety of their company data. We must give a 100% of the performance, and this is better for the system going well for the from the business world, and uh, it can be a um, it can be a one different depending of technology, because nowadays many of them try to reach our data, and basically is much the people dependence on technology. Is a purpose and WPS map. We know the purpose of this service is we must protect the email that's exchanged inside or outside portal network. We know the client or the buyers, we want to keep their sensitive data, their information, all the information from them. We must keep the data secure, and especially when about the financial. We can see this is the WPS map. We can see we are through the five for 4 parts is firstly is initiation, planning, execution, control, and closing. We know the initiation is for the requirement we get for what we must what we want to do and what we want to use. For the planning, we create the like if we create the like storyboard. we create the planning and we create all the time of the duration of the all the plan of the system goes going. Third is education. Education which is installing hardware, or lastly we have the hardening of software. And fourth is control. We know is control is for the, or we will call the administrator to manage to maintenance, and you do the regular backup. And lastly is a closing. Closing is like a presentation or report or documentation. We want to show what the going for the image server what we have done is protect so muchly to the proton holding berhad. That's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Firdaus Hafizi Mesabri. For the next part, I'm going to present the financial and time analysis. This is the WBS table, which includes the cost on the left-hand side. As stated here in the workbench, the cost for spending on the resources to work on this project is around 15,000 ringgit, which includes the cost of the server itself, constructing the server rack, and other resources, which is email protocols to safeguard the network. There are also tangible and intangible costs includes during the execution phase of the project, where the tangible costs are computers and other things like hardware and many more. But the intangible costs, on the other hand, are the money spent on software such as management software. Other price may change. Other costs may include direct costs and indirect costs, where direct costs is the material used for the project, example for direct labor and employee pay rates, while indirect costs, on the other hand, the cost of paying things like office rent, utilities, and ordinary offices expenditure like power, paper, Wi-Fi, and printer inks. The next part, time analysis. This is the WBS table for the project, which includes 5 phases, which is initiation phase, planning phase, execution phase, control phase, and closing phase. Here we can see there are duration which it takes to complete certain phases, and the cost it takes to complete certain phases. The first and the second phase is initiation and planning phase. The initiation phase takes only 10 days to be completed. This phase includes the work of choosing server and routers, making network design, and choosing which OS need to be installed in the server. In planning phase, on the other hand, it takes 7 days to perform. It consists the task of electing database administrator, going to the project site to see where the server is going to be placed, and looking at the potential part of the network infrastructure on the site. The third phase is execution phase. This phase took the longest time to complete, which is 56 days. During this phase, the new server is going to be installed into the site, and this also includes the work of constructing the server rack and other cabling work. After that, the server will be configured by the configuration team. The next phase is control phase. After the work of installing the server and other work like cabling and other stuff, installing the IDS and security for the server had been done. So the next part is to keep the server up and running. So control phases consist of maintenance tasks such as monthly maintenance, check the server integrity, and security checkup that need 15 days only to complete it. During this phase, the control team needs to make sure the server is always working and in good condition. The final phase is closing phase. Closing phase consists the work of documenting all of the work that had been completed into a report. Closing phase may take up to 9 days to be completed. And at the end of this phase, after all the documentation had been done, the project may be presented to the client for whether to see the project is a success or not.
Moving on to risk management. Okay, my name is Effendi Elias. I will explain about risk management and talk about it. In risk management, there are three pillars of cybersecurity. First is people, process, and the technology itself. It has uh, the detail is it has assets description, the vulnerability, the threats, the risk, and the risk mitigation of the pillars. For example, in people, there's the assets is talent, strength, discipline, loyalty, and smart. The description of the asset is employee. Now is vulnerability of the people. We can have an inconsistent people. Some people will have a steep learning curve, the health condition, and the family status. And the danger is the threat is some people can be careless, irresponsible, and have a corrupt mind. So the risk is it can make the productivity lower, the and also will have low in work quality. To avoid this risk, the risk mitigation is job posting and training. So in next is in process, we can see in assets, policy, rules, regulation, and term and condition, the asset description, car manufacturing process, quality control, account authentication, and so on. And lastly is technology. It has two types of assets, hardware and software. So in hardware, we have car manufacturing machine, the router, the computer, switch, and server itself. In software, we have the Proton manufacturer management system. In hardware, the vulnerability is we can have a faulty machine, software patch, need a software patch, the protection of the backdoor, and bug. In technology, in software, availability is the data availability, and we can see the threat, risk, and risk mitigation of the technology also. Th- uh, that's all for me. Thank you very much.
My name is Ahmad Shah and we talk about quality assurance. This is the fishbone diagram of setting up email server. The first effect is underestimate software updates, which is the performance will drop and general server stability becomes the worst. Second one is inexperienced workers, which is not have any skill when something happens to server. The third one is maintenance costs, different in plant access and production flow and products produced. Fourth one is backup server not available. Malware attack can infect the server. Next, I'm going to talk about the quality assurance of the workflow or the flowchart of the incoming emails. Okay, first one, the emails is received after it's being filtered for possible spam or phishing, and then you're going to type the event that connected to the server, and then it's gonna ask about the event that most connected to the server. If yes, it's gonna go back to the filter, and if no, it's gonna go on to store to the event in the mailbox, and then you're gonna ask to log the unauthorized event. If yes, you're gonna go back to the store in the mailbox. Or if not, and gonna deliver the image to the user.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Izaham, and I will be talking about protecting the network from cybercrimes and malicious activities. The problem of retaining a database network in organization is that highly sensitive data from the company are sought after by cybercriminals to sell. Any loss of data due to breach or environmental damage can impact on business operation and also systems that rely on these networks. In order to prevent this problem, we need to protect the data with strict authentication policy. Plus, we also need to schedule backups on sensitive systems. It also is also a good idea to provide a fail-safe plan in order to ensure the data are backed up safely. This is our business network architecture. In our headquarters, to protect our system, we include an intrusion detection system among the databases and a firewall that separates the public network from our local area network. On external premise, for physical security, we implement locked door, CCTV, and NVR system to monitor movement around the premise. We also include a logging system that will log all activities on the network. In order to achieve a successful network project, we need to have a proper plan to assess the current state of the project to get better understanding of the project's flow. We also need to prioritize opportunities, for instance, stakeholder analysis and resource requirement. And lastly, to devise a financial plan to make sure project's budget can be monitored and controlled carefully.